Good morning. It's November 22nd. This is Raven, and I'm going to do a reading for the four directions. So, four cards today. I chose this because there's kind of a call for stability happening astrologically. It's the new moon tomorrow. I'm feeling it. I had Marsy dreams, and there's some Mars action coming through Sagittarius, and it's kind of a testy time. So we thought some stability was called for. And the directions just, the directions are our friend. It's one of the elements of all kind of magical craft. Let's see, directions. Let's do north. Never eat shredded wheat. Every time I do that. Yes. So from the north, we have the Queen of Fire. From the east, we have strength. From the south, we have Empress. A lot of Empress lately. And from the west, we have love. Whoa. So look at all the major arcana and a lovely queen. Using the good tarot, and it's doing us good today. So starting with the Queen of Fire here, meaning of course the Queen of Wands. She's lovely. She's kind of holding a candle in front of her chakra. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be maybe the heart chakra. So, of course, queens are the watery part of, the emotional part of, the intuitive heart of the element of fire here. So this is a few elements, being that the north is earth. The north is the time midnight. The north is dark colors. The north is ancestry, at least for North Americans, and it's yin. It is a very feminine direction, and it's being supported for us today and present in this new moon time through this integration of the emotional balance between the charismatic and go-getter part of our feminine hearts, right? Someone once described the queen to me as like the person, Queen of Fire, Queen of Wands, as the person who walks in the room and all heads turn. So for the part of our lives that is at its midnight, the part of our lives that is the earth element, meaning the money and the home and the body and the physical manifested world. The Queen of Fire, the Queen of Wands has a real opportunity to shine today. There's an invitation to allow some charisma and some kind of like heart-centered leadership to come through in the body and the home. So the next one is the East, which is the element of air, judgment and inspiration and movement. And we have strength. I think that if I were to make my deck, it would be called Gentle Strength or something like that. This is when all needs are met, and that is how, like, the joining forces of the parts to create a stronger whole. That's the kind of strength that this is. And in the direction of the East, these are the elements of our life today that are transforming, that are in the midst of movement and change. The parts that are stuck and need to be transformed are calling for this, and whatever is kind of like starting to move and shift within your story, within your path. And the parts that are calling for sort of like a thinking to take action, you know, a little bit of intellectual diligence and understanding. There's a gentle strength being invited in today. This is the best way that you will navigate those airy parts of your life. Air and the direction of the east being the dawn, that which is dawning into your life. So, yeah, the earth and the north, and midnight being that which is at rest, kind of, or just instability. And then we have threes, the ever active threes. Threes are creative, and yet the Empress is such a feminine yin teacher of receptivity as a vehicle to abundance, as the prosperity gospel, a term I heard from my parents yesterday. This is the priestess of the prosperity gospel, the Empress. And she's in the position of the south, being fire. So a real meeting of fire and water, like when water comes and has strength, is like there's so much water within a ripe field. It's like when these two elements are balanced, you have the Empress. That's a lovely way to think about it. Another kind of balancing of yin and yang happening in the areas of your life that are in sort of like immediate activity. This is the time of the direction of the south is noontime. This is the work of the day and what is being done. So whatever it is that is kind of in its noon hour, you know, you're in the midst of it. You're being invited into some Empress today, into some water-fire balance, bringing out some receptivity and generosity. The Empress is always so generous. She's a harvest goddess. She gives, she overflows. So the last one is love. Love. I believe this is the Lovers, right? It looks like strength. Funny the way that she did this, but don't get confused. This is not the strength card. This is the Lovers. They left the pillars, so these are the two lovers. I think they have an angel over them, and this is kind of finding a path to the self and to real understanding, and finding a path beyond the ego through the process, that, let me say, grueling process of loving another and loving the world, and therefore understanding yourself, ultimately loving yourself. Yeah? And this is in the position of the West. Ooh. West, of course, being that which is dying away, the dusk, the sunset time, powerful in-between time, sunset and sunrise. You know, it's liminal. So there's a lot of sort of into our spirituality kind of lives within this, you know, period of time, direction, and everything this direction signifies and represents. That which is dying away in your life right now is being invited into this work of compassion, this work of getting to know yourself, and allowing some honesty to be reflected back to you, because the work of love is really not about getting to know your beloved. It's like allowing their reflections and finding the truth and the untruth in them, and providing the same service to them in honest, compassionate ways. So, yeah, the love card, the lovers in the position of the West is just whatever is falling away, is asking for that kind of compassionate diligence. Compassionate diligence. I like that for the lovers and the whole process of being in a relationship of any kind, romantic or not. So never eat shredded wheat. Right? North, south, east, and west. The queen of fire, the queen of wands, and heart-centered leadership and fabulosity, being invited into that which is at rest in your life today, and strength, compassionate strength, sort of like all needs met more than the sum of your parts, gentle strength, being invited into that which is being born. That also sounds a little like diligence to me. These two are very sort of yin yang, masculine, feminine, balancing, being called into the north and the south and the east and the west, the liminal times. Look at how similar these two are, especially in these depictions, of course. But you're talking in both of these about relationship and about sort of the role of compassion and discipline, self-discipline in that. I like it. Beautiful. Never eat shredded wheat, my friends. Never, ever. No, just kidding. So, thanks for coming and thanks for listening. And I hope you have a beautiful Sunday. And please subscribe. And I would love a comment. I would love that. Let me know how this resonates with you. You can find me through all the links provided, and you can have a full reading if you like, as well as I do other healing services. So, all right, have a lovely day. I'll see you tomorrow.